Good evening, guys. I'm Josh, and today we are going to be talking about paranormal activity and some of our experiences and where we're going to go from this video. This is Paige.
Hi, I'm Paige. I've been friends with Josh for too long now. Way too long. I've known him since high school and we've been best friends since. And here we are today recording this video for you guys.
So today, Paige has agreed to do this video with me, and she's going to share some of her experiences. I'm going to share some of my experiences from our own paranormal activities that we've experienced.
Too right, yeah.
And we are going to basically throw questions in there back and forth to each other. Probably get some of your experience down in the comments when this video comes up. So
Let's start, shall we?
yes. So when did you very first start believing in all the paranormal activity that people say isn't real?
Well, I've been a believer since I was a child because since I was a child I've seen things that nobody else could actually see. I'm kind of lucky because I'm quite perceptive and intuitive. And I'm very spiritual. I'm very spiritual as it is. I've even got family that are psychic, and so I think I inherit that from them. And I've seen things when I was a little child that I cannot explain to somebody that is skeptic, but to people who believe, they would understand what I'm coming at when I say these experiences, which I'll tell you later on when Josh asks more.
Right.
Have you had any experiences, Josh?
I've had a few. I have had a few, and some of them are good, and some of them really aren't. And I do urge you, before we actually carry on, I do urge you not to annoy ghosts or...
Just a pre-warning, because we will tell you later on that this is a warning. Do not go looking for trouble, so to say, or else trouble will follow you home. Put that lightly. Yeah, right?
Yeah, quite lightly, but it is, we do urge you not to, because it is very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to come out of that or how to go into it, then the worst will happen, and so I urge you not to.
I urge you not to do it at all. If you don't know what you're doing, and if you don't know if you're doing it safely or not, you don't know how to protect yourself, just don't do it at all, or else you'll end up like Josh did, which obviously Josh will explain in a bit.
Yeah, so we'll move a bit down the line.
It's an inside joke at the moment.
So as to the question, I have had a few experiences. Some of them, like I said, have been good, and some of them haven't been that good. And when you're not a believer and then you first become a believer, it's all like, well, what's going on? Do I believe what's happening, or do I just shake it off and not go anywhere? You know what I mean?
See, when I was younger, I used to see things. I used to see partial apparitions in my bedroom, and it used to scare me because obviously you don't know what's going on when you're a child. You're really innocent, and they're drawn to children's innocence in general. And it's not a bad thing. There's good people that can come through, but there are also bad spirits out there, and you need to just be careful because you can get hurt. And like I say, it will, as going to be discussed, Josh has had his own bad experiences that have caused harm, really bad harm, where intervention's been needed.
We'll go more on that story when I do tell it. We'll go over what happened, how I went about doing what I did, and then how I went about getting out of that. So that we'll explain more in detail on that, but
yeah,
that's going a bit further down in the video. So
yeah, like I said, it's something we'll be discussing, and you'll find out. And we're very open to our experiences, and we want to share our stories and just say, look, be careful with what you're playing with, because you can get hurt, and when a bad spirit comes, they will not stop hurting you until further action has been taken.
Yeah.
like I said, it'll be all spoken about shortly, I suppose.
Shortly, yeah.
Yeah.
So, as of the paranormal in this video, I am going to go talk about it into a bit of detail on where I want to take this, and
Of course.
how I'm going to do it and what I'm going to do that. So, at the moment, it's just this video. And this video is basically just, like I said earlier, talking about our experiences, asking questions about those experiences, and then obviously the first thing I'm going to talk about is where I'm going to go from this video, so you understand and you know. And so I have set dates for what days videos are going to be put up. So as I've told you in the previous video, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on those dates I'm going to tell you what videos are going to come on those days, so you know what you're going to be looking for that day. And like I said in previous video, if something's not for your interest, there is, like I said, 4 different playlists I'm going to be doing that you might be interested in, or depending on what your taste is. And I have asked you to leave comments on what you want me to be doing as well, any suggestions of what I can be doing and things that might interest you a little bit more.
So keep your eyes out, guys,
Yeah.
because there'll be a little bit of everything from what I hear from Josh's plan. So,
Yeah.
you know, keep your eyes out and like this video, and you know, comment what you want to down below in the little in the comment bar down there. I imagine it's down there, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, just underneath the video.
Yeah.
So Mondays it's going to be out my chat show playlist on a Monday. Wednesday I'm going to do like 2 different videos for Wednesday. So it's going to be the cooking ones and the garden, well, growing fruits and veg ones. That's going to be on a Wednesday. And Friday is going to be all paranormal. And all the kind of videos, kind of like I said, at the moment I'm just basically putting up all me talk show bit on those days at the moment until I can get up and do those other videos for you.
Okay, until further notice.
Yes, okay, until further notice. So, you got any questions for me?
So, tell me about your good experiences. What experiences have you had? I know you've told me a few, but do you want to share those good experiences?
Yeah, so my first one is I got saved by a ghost. People think ghosts are all bad. They really aren't. You do get your bad ghosts, but you also get your good ghosts.
That's true.
I was walking up the stairs once and I missed my step. So basically missed my footing on the step. And I did fall backwards, but as I started falling backwards, I felt somebody put the hands on me like that and stopped me right there and sort of like pushed me up a bit so I could go back up the stairs so I didn't fall down. The name of that ghost was actually Diane, the person who used to live in that house before before I moved in. She could be evil too, don't get me wrong, she can be evil too. She did once push me down the stairs as well.
Well, so that's not being evil. That's spirits and ghosts. If they're good spirits, they can still play pranks on you, and they can still they can really play jokes on you. And I've got my own experiences of somebody that passed away on my partner's side of the family that still has his playful side. I'll tell you after Josh's experience, because I will let him speak first.
So basically the reason why she pushed me downstairs, she didn't like change whatsoever. So if you went decorating or you were moving furniture around, she just got used to.
Yeah.
So basically getting different furniture, she would let that be known that she didn't like that. So my mum was painting on the stairs, and she wanted just someone to sit down and talk to as you do, so she wasn't bored. So I was standing on the stairs having a chat with him, and my mum was painting away. And next thing you know, I got pushed. Luckily my mum was on the stairs and she grabbed me, or
Good
I'd
job.
been at the bottom of those stairs, probably in hospital with some kind of fracture or broken bone or something.
God.
So she did let her know that she didn't like the change, and those was good / bad experience that was.
Well, how would you like it if someone walked into your property and you've been long past and someone went changing the way it's been. Would you like that?
No,
Yeah.
I'd be a bit angry myself because I'd be like,
I'd be a
just
bit
got
miffed.
used to this.
I'd be a bit miffed as well.
Yeah. Don't change something I've just got used to. So it is understandable because, you know, I mean, it's their home originally.
Yeah,
so...
and you're in their space, so you need to be respectful. And
Yeah.
if you're not aware that they're there and they're watching you, and that sounds so ominous, but it's true. They do watch what we do, and sometimes some of the changes that we put into our houses that we may think is comfortable for us may make them uncomfortable, and they may show it through physical interaction. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So I do want to address one situation on all this, though.
Which one?
So in the previous video, I said I'll be talking about ghosts and is there an afterlife. I do want to address that. I do want to get your opinion on it and the viewer's opinion on it.
Now, I know this is going to be very mixed, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are on the fence, as my partner puts it. They haven't got anything to prove that anything's there in the afterlife, but they also think that there could be something in the afterlife, but they're not too sure yet. That's okay. Some people are skeptical and some people are not skeptical, and that's okay. You're entitled to your own opinions, and I'm not going to sway you for it. But from my own experiences, most definitely there is an afterlife. And I said before that I've met family that have passed. I've met my granddad who recently passed away this year, and he's come through on the spirit board when I've been with that family member who's psychic, and he's come through with messages and warnings, and I understand where he's coming from, and it's only stuff I know. You know, nobody else knows this stuff, only me.
Yeah.
And that's why it's eerie, because I know this stuff and nobody else does. Unless you know me well enough, like this man here, you know, then that's a different story. But I had my partner's dad come through. Now, my partner's dad died about 2.5 years ago. And unfortunately, his death was unfortunate. And he was a lovely man. I only met him a couple of times, and when I met his dad pulled me in for a big cuddle and he said, "You do me a favour and look after my son for me." Then it comes after his death, and I've gone to my grandma's again, to this person who's psychic, and she said she's done the spirit board session. And I feel someone sitting next to me on my left, because I was sitting at the table. And all I felt was this. Now I'm going to demonstrate on Josh, because I'm going to need some form of subject to demonstrate. I felt this. And then I felt, sorry Josh. And then I felt this. Now I'm sorry if I'm touching you, Josh, I know, but this is how it felt. It's like, as if he was like, still here, you know. I'm going to still ruffle your hair. And that's what he used to do in life. When he used to see my partner, he used to pull him in, and he used to like, "Hey, come here, fight me like a man." You know, he was very playful in that man, and he's not ever lost that in spirit. He's still very much a playful man, from things I've felt through him and from messages we've had through him.
That, from what I know, is actually true. So, and I've known, like, we've known Paige, God knows, since high school, and
like I said, too long.
Yeah, just a bit.
A bit too
long. So yeah, I do agree with you on that. I do believe there is an afterlife, and I do believe it. The way I see it is, you can't live life, then die, and then nothing happens. You know what I mean? To me, that's just unrealistic and unbelievable.
Well, let me explain this to you. I'm going to say it in a scientific terms. You know, at school when we were in science and they talked about energy.
Yeah.
Now, the energy that we have in life is transferred into death, and that's called our soul. So our soul leaves our body physically, and we go wherever we go when we pass. And we can still visit the physical planes, and we can still come and visit people who are still alive, and we can still physically interact with them if we have the energy. Again, it's all about energy, and if we die and we said that there's no such thing as an afterlife. Where does these energies go? It's got to go somewhere. So that's my scientific take on it. Now, it might not be the best best explanation of science and energies, but that's the same applied to physical life and death.
Yeah, because there's everything in the earth is basically it's energy. And back in good years ago, and when witchcraft was a thing and people believed it, and they say if you draw the energy from the earth and it flows through you, then stuff's made. So
you
get what I mean? Basically magic's made. And people really do believe it, and they really do worship that because they believe.
Well, it's not worshipping, it's
believing.
What I mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Not worshipping is basically.
Not like worshipping Jesus.
Not like praying down on your knees and going, "Oh dear Lord," blah blah blah. It's not that kind of worship. The way they worship it is, they offer a sort of sacrifice. If you get what I mean, to put that energy back that they take. You get what I mean, though.
I understand where you're coming from, but you're not
really
exactly there. But that's
dark magic.
That's like dark alchemy.
Yeah,
that's
what they believe.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm a Wiccan and I'm a practicing baby witch. So we have very many discussions, and he follows the pagan path. So we're very connected in that sense. But like, just on the note of like witchcraft as an example, you know how back in the day in like say 1600s, when nobody understood something, so this can be applied to spirits and angels and demons and that kind of sort. People didn't understand witchcraft.
No.
But basically witchcraft is today's form of pharmacy. They brewed up potions and they brewed up herbal remedies, and which today we use those herbal remedies as a base foundation for every single medicine we have. So due to scientific advancement, we now understand why those properties in those plants work. Yeah. So applying that into spirit sense, it's the same way. You might not believe it or you don't understand it, and therefore you're more likely to be skeptical.
Yeah,
and it's understandable, because if you don't understand something, how are you to accept it?
The way I see things is when people don't understand something and they refuse to understand it, that to me is they are scared of that new thing that's happening. In the way you can't. I was.
It's very understandable to be scared.
I was when I first come and saw my very first ghost. I was terrified. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was such thing as ghost or an afterlife at that age. You know what I mean? It's like, so I was terrified. I was like, I don't understand this.
No.
So
I was
my
very
natural
terrified
instinct
as well.
is like, I don't want nothing to do with it.
I was terrified as well, Josh, because when I was younger, I said to my grandma, I said, I do not like it. It scares me. I don't care if they're here because they're there to like protect me. I'm scared. I don't understand who they are and why they're here. I want them to go back to where they came from.
Yeah.
But now that I understand that, I respect their presence coming through. And when I was told about the experience that I saw a full-bodied apparition as a kid, I'd gone to bed and the landing light was on, the door was open, and I saw like half of a head and shoulders, and with the aura around it. It wasn't a shadow, it was just, like a halo almost around the head and shoulders, and it was quite a tall figure. And when I found out that was the previous owner of my mum's place, and he used to be was he the priest or...
I believe your mum said it was the priest.
He was the vicar of the church down the road from mum's. So now that I understood why he was there, because he was a protector in life, he wanted to be a protector in death. So, but I also found out that in life, he'd lost either a grandchild or a child because of falling down the stairs. And I was of that same age that grandchild or child had passed away, and he was trying to protect me from falling and doing the same thing and hurting myself and killing myself. Because where my mum lives, she lives in a terrace, and the stairs are so steep, and they've got no place to stop. If you bang your head, you're dead. You know, or you bang your head and you're severely bruised.
Yeah, you're definitely going to the hospital.
Yeah.
That's no.
But yeah, the story goes that he lost a grandchild or a child through the steepness of the staircase, and that's why he was there when I was younger.
Yeah, from what you and your mum tell me, he is a lovely spirit, and he does sometimes make himself known. Don't get me wrong, but he doesn't do nothing bad. He just like flickers.
He's just there.
Yeah, he lets you know. I mean, you don't.
It's not always.
You know what I mean?
He doesn't do the flickering of light. He shows himself more physically. Where he's, you know, I've seen when I was younger, a full-bodied apparition like walking between where my bed used to be. You know where my bed now is?
Yeah.
I used to have a single bed there. And he was walking in between where the wall is and the bed, and he was walking back and forth. And he was a robed figure. He looked like he was wearing like robes, vicar robes or something like that. And now, mind you, this is the time when technology was rubbish. Now, you take a photo and it was absolutely bloody grainy. I said to Mum, can I just, you know, take a photograph on your phone? So I snapped a photograph, you know, looking into my mum's bed, from my mum's bedroom into my bedroom. 15 minutes later, we chat back and we saw an eyes, nose and mouth, a ghostly figure. And when we've looked back at pictures of the house's previous owners, it's definitely the gentleman that was protecting me as a child. It was him. And it was quite scary because it was quite scary because you could see every single feature. It wasn't like we were making up. It was there. It was obvious. You know, nothing else could do that. There was no lights on, nothing. You know, the only light that was on was in my mum's bedroom. So how could, you know, that's how I debunked that. How could it be dust or how could it be anything else? Because it wasn't dust.
Well, I've never known dust make that kind of shape.
No.
It's definitely not dust.
Definitely
it's
not.
Definitely a spirit.
Yeah.
And it's definitely just shown you. Well, the spirit's shown itself to you for a reason, and that's the reason. From what I'm going to conclude from that is because the ghost trusts you.
Yeah.
And the ghost wouldn't go, "Oh, I'm going," unless it was. Well, it doesn't go, "I'm going to show yourself," unless there's one or two reasons really. If it's a nice ghost will show you because it trusts you and believes you have a good heart and good intentions, and the second one is demonic, basically.
Demonic, or if you've done something bad and they're coming to show you to warn you.
Yeah.
You know, and you can get a variety of messages from spirits. It's not as easy as writing on a whiteboard saying you're going to be attacked in 30 hours, for instance. You know, as a really.
Yeah, exactly.
As my partner would call it, voodoo way. He called it voodoo because he doesn't understand it. Again, I understand. He doesn't understand it. He's never seen and he doesn't believe. And that's okay. I'm not forcing what I believe onto him.
No, I wouldn't either.
No.
We're going to go on the same topic a bit, but we're going to talk about bad spirits and bad experiences.
Yes, there's plenty of bad spirits out there.
I've had a couple of bad experiences.
Yeah, I know your experiences.
You had any bad experiences?
Yes, but it's in relation to Josh's situation. Now, you tell the beginning of the story, Josh, of what you did, and then I will tell the message that I received.
Yeah.
And then we can both then explain how we progress from that situation.
So, because I'm really into ghost hunting and really want to prove to people, and I know there's loads of TV shows proving there is ghosts out there, spirits out there, bad and good, but people still don't really believe it.
No.
In my experience, is true. I am not lying to you. I'm not doing this just so I can get the views or the comments or whatever. That's not why I'm doing this. This is a true story, and it really did happen. And
we want to warn you.
And Paige's mum and grandma both know it's true. my family know it's true because I couldn't really go around my family as much because of it. So
Yeah.
basically, one day I went up the road with my brother and we both decided that we wanted to go into the bit of country,
Into like the country park, isn't it?
the
Up
country
there?
park we've got, and we both like we believe that there is a portal to the other side up there, and we both believe that it was most definitely true, and we wanted sort of evidence on this and proof to us that it's true and that it is dead. And we even considering doing a video about it and doing a paranormal activity up there, investigation, sorry, and proving that it's true. And we do believe in this one bit that we went that it is a portal, and I believe to this day that it is a portal still.
I wouldn't be surprised because of the old energies up there.
Yeah.
Because it's in a very old. Now, from research to sidetrack, I did a bit of research about this area, and it used to be a wooded area before it became part of the potteries where we live, part of the slag hills where they threw all the waste away, and we believe that was a wooded area in old times. And I wouldn't be surprised, I wouldn't be surprised if there was little tiny inlet villages over there. I wouldn't be surprised.
No,
I couldn't find anything more, but I'll let Josh continue and then I can input on my bit in a bit.
So we started our investigation. Me and my brother decided it'd be a bright idea, and it really wasn't a bright idea. At the time it seemed it, and it was like, I'm laughing about it now and smiling about it now because I've learned from what I've done, and I learned I'm never going to do that again. I don't want to do that again because I don't want the same thing happening again or worse. So me and my brother thought it was a great idea to myth these spirits off a little bit to get some sort of...
What did you say to them? What things did you call these spirits?
We call them cowards in... Yeah, we just called them cowards and we swore at them and stuff like that. But we took it a bit too far.
So basically you described it very lightly to me then, didn't you?
Oh, no, because I described it lightly because I knew how really annoyed you get. So it's like, let's just sort of tone it down a bit.
Yeah, but even if you did turn it down, I'd still be
you still kick me out.
Yeah.
So we told him they were cowards and stuff, and swore at him and a few other things. And we both felt really like our energy had just been drained out. I was like, do you know when you eat and then your energy, before you get really, really hungry and you don't eat and you still don't eat, and then your energy just goes.
It's like all the energy out of you has been sucked dry.
Yeah, that's what it felt like, and it was horrible. But we got the reaction we were looking for. I'm not saying it was the right thing to do because it's not. Trust me, it really isn't. And to this day, I still regret it, and I still wish I went about it a little bit differently.
Well, sometimes you've got to make mistakes to learn from them. That's what the key point is. You've learned from it, which unfortunately some people don't, and they get hurt in the process.
So this spirit that attached itself to me, my brother didn't get any spirits attaching itself, or...
Lucky bastard.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
He didn't get anything after that. Because he did it a bit, but I was the idiot and did it, carried it on.
You were the aggressor.
Yeah, I was the aggressor. I made it worse.
No wonder.
So this spirit attached itself to me, and now this spirit's a really, really, really old spirit.
I'll tell you about the old spirit, if I can input. Now, I found out through Josh. He said to me, he came to me, he said, Paige, I think I've messed up big time. Like, I keep getting scratch marks on me. My knees are absolutely killing me. Now, mind you, he doesn't get arthritis in his knees often. And I mean, it was really bad to the point where getting up was painful, he said to me. And he got painful wrists and painful joints from the spirit that attached himself to him. And he even said he'd seen a little boy spirit, a shadow spirit, didn't you? in the corner of your bedroom. Now, I'll get to that in a minute. I went to my grandma's and I was telling my grandma about this. We proceeded to do a spirit session with the spirit board, as you may call it, in a Ouija board, but it's not an Ouija board, it's a spirit board. And now, this person came through, and his name, he spelled his name, and it was Anthony. Now, this guy was, must have been friends with this gentleman who attached himself to Josh in life. And he was very angry, and he said to us, he was warning us, he said, he's pissed, excuse my language, but he's pissed him off. He's been disrespectful, and he's overstepped his mark. And we were, you know, as people do with the pamphlet, they put their finger on the pamphlet, and it was going crazy. And me and my mum, at simultaneous time, we both got neck and shoulder ache. Now, I don't have any neck and shoulder problems. I'm healthy as hell. And we just both got the same pain, as if someone was like punching us. And it really, really hurt. And we felt pain like shoot up our arms as well. Like he was really trying to say to us, he's messed with the wrong people. You need to tell him to repent and to be sorry. Now, I said to my grandma, I said, what can he do to appease the spirit? Because obviously he's being disrespectful. Nobody would like to be called cowards and be called names under the sun. It's not respectful at all, you know. We wouldn't like it. You know, if I called you a coward, you would be like, hang on, you can't make no judgment on me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, and he didn't know who the spirit was. Now, my grandma said to me, look, I'm just getting an image, and she described the image of the man, and he wore a top hat. Not like a top hat, but he wore a hat with like feathers, and then he had a long coat with knee-length boots, and he had like ruffles next to his lapel kind of thing. And when I looked up, and she gave me a date, I think it was 15 or 1690. Now, that's ancient. That's years and years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And when I did my research, I found a picture, and that's what he was wearing. Now, I can't show you now because I've lost all that now. And you're going to say to me, well, if you haven't got the proof, then what? You know, this is fake. But it's not. I assure you. And I did a bit of research on the dress back then, on how they dressed. And I found out the guy was, he was what we'd call a witch hunter. They hunted witches. People they didn't understand were herbalists. And this is why I spoke about herbalists before. And apparently he was really renowned in his day. He was a renowned person. And obviously Josh had angered him, and he had every right to be angry.
Yeah.
You know, you would be angry if somebody called you a coward without getting to know them. And he didn't like it. And so I said to my grandma, what do I do? How can I help him? Because he needs to get help. He needs to say sorry. And that's all she said. He needs to apologise, and he needs to be repentful for his actions, and he needs to realise that his actions have consequences. So
They do. So I repented like crazy. It went on for a few months. It didn't go straight away. In out time, Paige and her mum come down mine. They didn't stay long because as soon as they get in, they walk in. Actually no, it's not just as soon as you get it. It's anywhere I really went.
because it followed you, the energy followed you.
The energy followed me. The spirit followed me. So I could go out to the card room outside and have a little chat, and they'd have to go within a couple of seconds. Like, they can't stay. Like,
it's not like we couldn't be around him because we don't like him. We actually enjoyed Josh's company. Now the thing is, this presence that was attached to Josh and followed him, it made being around Josh unbearable. And I know that sounds awful, doesn't it, bro? But it's just how it was. Every time we walked into this place, my mum and I both had the foggiest headache, like we couldn't focus, and it wasn't pleasant at all. Now,
in the end, I basically turned around to her and
Yeah.
I said, "You're gonna have to stop coming down for a while. It's getting to the point where I was getting to the point as well where I was feeling like I was just going to break. Like I was going to let this ancient spirit defeat me. And at the end of the day, as I saw it, it's like I can't allow that. I know I did wrong, but I can't allow this to defeat me. I've got to right my wrong. I've got to make sure what I've done won't happen again, and I won't do it again. And every night before I went to bed, I repented every single night. I begged and pleaded with a spirit to just basically leave me alone, and I am really, really sorry.
But when I went to my grandma's, just to interject, she said, "Look, there's one way that he can get rid of the spirit, but it means that you need to cleanse the place, and you need to bless the house, and he needs to say he's sorry, but also state that the spirit has outstayed his welcome, and he's stated his points, and he's really sorry for his actions."
Yeah. So we did that.
Mm-hmm.
We went White Sage, and we had the Archangel. We asked Archangel Michael for his help.
So basically, I came around and said, "Look, we're gonna sage the place. We need to do it now before it gets worse, because this is the tip of the iceberg." And I knew what Josh was scared for his own safety as well. And I said to him, "Look, we're gonna have to form a circle, do some prayers, and we're gonna have to light some white sage." Now, I understand now white sage is not the right thing to use because of cultural appropriation, is it?
Yeah.
Because of the meaning behind it. Now, there's other ways, but you'd have to research that. But it's been ages since we've done this, so
just supporting a bit. White sage is actually
it's sacred to the indigenous.
Yeah, it is sacred, but Wiccans, witches, all still use it now and back then to cleanse your house and to help the spirits to move on. So
mind you, there are other herbs and other herbs that you can use to cleanse a place. Even if you grow your own white sage, it's still not culturally appropriated, because back when the indigenous used to sell it, big corporations stole that and then took their money away from them, took their trade away from them, and then took that culture away from them. And if I'm saying this wrong, just correct me in the comments, and because I know that I might not be stating the full story on it, and I'm not saying it right, but I'm sure you understand that it's yes, it is widely used, but it's not appropriate
for the kind of situation that we were in.
But we needed to cleanse the room with something.
We needed to cleanse the room with something, and it needed to be done as soon as possible. So we used white sage. We asked Archangel Michael, is it to take?
Well, I asked Archangel Michael to put a protection over the house and put a protection over Josh, myself, my mum, and anybody else, including pets in the house, because they can still be affected by it. Funnily enough.
Yeah. We did that. Things went really well after that, and it's still going really well. But I just want to tell a few stories, a bit more about it, what happened before we actually cleansed the house. I am really good friends with Paige and her mum, and I go see Paige and I go see her mum quite often, as often as I can. And I went and stopped Paige's mum's once, and I think it was just the one night. I think once it's.
Yeah, and I wasn't there. Wasn't
no, you weren't there when this happened. And I stopped Paige's mum because I think your mum wanted me out with a gardener, so I can't remember.
Yeah, as she always does.
In the night time, I went to bed. We had a book, because I always do when I go down to your mum's. Read a book in bed.
Did you have the door open or closed?
Open. I had the door open, but the door's always open upstairs. So I left the door open, lights were out, your mum's lights were out. I was literally, this is no joke, I turned over to the door and I saw a figure. It was a full body figure, but it wasn't a full apparition where you could see the features and what he was wearing. It was just basically an outline
Still
of
a
a figure.
full-bodied apparition, no less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on its feet, crouched with his hands on the floor and its head down.
Bit like a frog position, like.
Basically, yeah.
You know, yeah.
Shit myself. I didn't get out of bed because I knew it couldn't come in because Patty's room was actually got a protection spell around it.
And thank God I had a protection spell.
And I was just like, yeah, whatever. I just went to sleep. I was like, I'm not even acknowledging it. Not even giving the spirit a certification of me knowing it was there. Another
reason why I think that it couldn't come in was because there's also a portal in my bedroom. Funnily enough, I only found out when my grandma came and she told the spirit who was watching that I told you previously about. She told him just to go back to where he hence came, you know, because he was scaring me at the time, you know. But he's still welcome. But you know, yeah. I just didn't understand, and I just wanted him to back off a bit. And she said, "Do you realise you've got a portal in your bedroom?" Now, I'm not surprised that he had a visitor but couldn't get through because I got a protection spell over my bedroom.
Regardless of whether that portal's there or not, if you have a protection spell over that room, which is basically in the same room where that portal is, funny enough, the ghost can't actually go in, even though there's a portal there.
It depends on
I think personally it depends on how much strength that one spirit has to get through.
I think it's more dependent on their intentions. I think if their intentions are negative, then they will not be able to enter a safe and protected space. Whereas a good spirit might be able just to walk through it you know, opening the door and just easily walking in, you know, putting it lightly into context.
So, we woke up that next morning and I told your mum about it and I was like, I saw something last night. She's like, what do you mean? I goes, I think it was that spirit. Because I'm not sure, I don't know. But I do think to this day that it was that spirit that was attached itself to me. It
could have been. Wouldn't be surprised.
I haven't seen it since. And I still hope to this day that I don't see it. Because it was the scariest thing I've ever seen. I just looked at it and I was like...
Nope.
I was like, nope. Literally... I laugh about it now because it's funny, but then I was like, no. And I just turned over and because if you let the spirit know you've acknowledged it's there and you know the fear that spirit's giving you, it's going to go, oh, he knows I'm here. Let's have a bit of fun. I know that spirit because I don't want it dead and I really made it angry.
Well, this is what
I probably gone, yeah, let's have a bit of fun with this person.
Well, this is what I believe. Like, if you acknowledge that a spirit's there, they are more than likely not to cause be pranksters and do malicious stuff. It and again depends on the spirit's intent. If they're a good spirit, then their intent is pure and good. Now I know I sound like a blinking Christian here saying pure and whatnot, but if their intentions are good, then they are less likely to cause trouble.
Yeah.
If they're bad spirits, then they will let you know. Now, you can have good spirits that come through with bad intentions and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the gentleman that attached himself to him. It depends on what person he also was in life as well, because that reflects upon it in death as well. So say if you were a well-respected person in life and then you suddenly get told you're a coward, you're going to be angry and you're going to be like, now listen here, Sonny. You don't know me. Stop judging me because I'm a spirit.
Yeah.
You've peed me off big time, you know.
Pardon me. So, we did all that. We blasted everywhere. Every nook and cranny and corner in the entire place. Saged it, basically. Lights it go up and down. Say the prayers, going along, really tell the spirit that you are real sorry for what you did. You gotta call on your phone.
No, it's not cool.
And do what you do. And basically, we did that. And from that day until this day, I have not felt any presence of this spirit.
It's funny when once we saged the house, and I said to Josh, you need to say you're sorry. You need to do it as well, because it's not me that's done this. It's you. You need to. And I said to him, look, you need to say, you've stated your intentions and you made your intentions known. You've now outstayed your welcome, and go back to where you hence came from. And he did that, saging the place. And we went back and we held hands, didn't we? We went back into a circle and we said another prayer to close the session.
Which I believe it was the Lord's Prayer that we said once.
We said the Lord. I said two prayers. I made my own prayer up at the start, and then I did the Lord's Prayer, and then I did the act. I did go through and do the saging, and then we came back and we said another prayer, and that was the Lord's Prayer. But you don't have to have fancy prayers. You can just say the Lord's Prayer. That should be strong enough, depending on the spirit.
Yeah. I do say, and I will advise you, if you are going to go down this road and you are interested in doing the paranormal investigation stuff, please be careful. Please do not do what I did in Know Your Ghost, because as soon as that ghost attacks you and you don't get rid of, you don't lay that spirit
True.
And say you don't want it down, you're sorry and sage everywhere and blah blah this, that and the other. Just be careful and do it wisely. And if you are going to do it, you really do need to watch all the paranormal investigation TV shows that are on your TV, because they are
and you need to also look at where they've gone wrong, and you need to learn
from what they've done.
Like I said, don't go in it thinking, oh, I can do this. You need to protect yourself, and your safety is the most important, because you'll end up like Josh, and we don't want that. And this is us giving you a warning. If you do wish to proceed, do your research on the area, and do your research on the history, and I'm saying do a lot of in-depth research, because that will help you understand what kind of spirits may be there at that time you do visit. So say, like, if you visited a church that had been built on indigenous land, do your research. Do the research of the history of the building. Do your research of the history of the land and who lived there and what tribes, and what their beliefs were and what the history is. That's a first port of call if you do ever want to do this, and that's my fair warning. But if you do not know what you're doing when it comes to protecting yourself, you can always look up online ways to protect yourself from spirits. That's a good place to start, but you need to practice that before you even go into the deep end, so to say. Yeah,
I went in the deep end and I didn't come out very well at the end of it, so I have learned from my mistake, and I won't be doing it again. I'll be doing it properly, professionally, and I won't be annoying any ghosts. And
it's funny though that at the end of our session, we both all felt, didn't we? We felt like a weight had been lifted off the whole house, because originally when we walked in, the house was, like I said,
it was heavy.
Heavy, like my head felt dead heavy, like with a headache, and it felt foggy, like I couldn't concentrate. And that's what I knew. That's how I knew, someone was there. But
as soon as you walked in, you walked in, and you're like, wow, because if you're a Wiccan like Paige, or you're a pagan like me,
or spiritualist, or if you're Christian, it doesn't matter what you believe in.
You will always, if you do believe in the spirits though, the sense that they're there, and like it was when that spirit touched to me, and you do believe, and as soon as you walk in and you feel basically it's like the power of that spirit.
It felt when we walked in, it felt absolutely. The only way I could explain to you, it felt like someone had put a major headache into my mind, and I felt unable to concentrate.
Another way of saying that is, say you go out drinking and you drink a hell of a lot more than you should have, and you wake up that morning and
a
you've got
hangover.
that pounding headache.
That hangover fog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. But obviously this is a spirit's energy in the feel of that energy. So man, Paige walking in and feeling that. Just imagine how I felt every single day I had that spirit attached to me.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
I can imagine it's tenfold worse for you because you were the aggressor.
It's tenfold. It is tenfold worse, and it's also things the spirit does to you mentally when you're sleeping or during the day to get the point across that you've done this and it is not right what you did. And
because does it feel like did it feel like he was trying to play tricks with you, like to make you even more scared?
But this way, I used to be afraid of the dark, and I grew out of that phrase, and I was like, go to bed with lights off. To put it this way, I could not go to bed without my light being on, because the fear I had, and it took me ages to go sleep because the spirit that was attached to me
was feeding off your fear.
My fear and feeding off the fears I have, and then playing tricks on me with those fears I actually have. So it took me a hell of a lot longer to go sleep than it normally would. And I know you'll think, oh, you're laughing all through this. I'm laughing about it now because I've learned from that mistake, and
I'm telling you, that was the first time I've ever had to bless a place, and never done it before. I've seen how it's been done.
Yeah.
I will tell you something. As soon as that blessing was put over this house, and we told that spirit he's made his point known, and once he left, I'll tell you, felt like a huge weight was lifted off our head. I could. It was weird because me and my mum both didn't we? We said together. We said, "Bloody hell!" I could think clearly now. It's not a big fog, and it was instant like that.
It was just like that. And as soon as we did what we did, and we said that last prayer, and we were all holding hands saying that last prayer, and as soon as we finished that last prayer, and it's just like
a weight lifted off.
I felt so light and so at ease.
Yeah, like you're walking in a cloud, like you could do anything.
I could walk. Yeah, it was just gone, and
it was strange how quickly it happened. That's what surprised me.
Yeah, it just like that. I was expecting to take ages.
I did as well
because of the strength and the.
But to be
fair,
how
I felt off that spirit. I think it's going to take more than one day doing this.
But to be fair, I think what also helped is because I did my research and I knew the era that this gentleman came from, and I understand what his
goals.
Not goals, but how his thoughts and his beliefs at the time. So I understood, and I said before I even entered the space, I said to the gentleman that's attached to Josh, I'm coming over now, and I said, look, I'm coming over, I'm going to bless this house, and you're no longer welcome in Josh's house. Thank you for stating your point, and I understand you came from a different time where respect was respected.
Yeah.
And, doing your research, like I said, it does help. And I think he understood that I'd done my research and been respectful, and was like, yeah, I understand why he thinks differently to how we may think these days. And I understand why he's angry. And, I supported him, didn't I? And
you did, yeah.
I said, I understand. I said to him, how would you like it, Josh, if somebody came to you and they didn't know you from Adam, and said, you're a coward, you're an asshole, etc., etc., and called you all the names under the sun. What did you say to me with that?
I'd be so angry. I'd be so angry in the disrespect somebody gave you. I've learned from my dad that now I respect spirits a hell of a lot more than I did when I very first started doing what I do. And
like I said, sometimes you have to learn from your mistakes.
Learn from your mistakes. Do your research. Don't go on your own. Go with at least one or two people.
Or go with somebody that is spiritually inclined, like myself.
So what I'm going to be doing when I next go ghost on investigations and stuff like that, I'm going to take a healer.
I don't know if I'm classed as a healer, but
well, you know
I'm
what
a spiritualist, yeah.
You're a spiritualist. Well, it depends on what you want to.
I'm gonna say to him. I'm gonna bring all my crystals and rocks, and I'm gonna bless them. And I'm gonna say, carry these in your pocket. You're gonna need all the protection. You're gonna need all the protection. You'll need all the protection you can get.
Yeah.
Even if you need to bring sage and crystals and.
I'd stand back. A bag full of all the stuff I need.
A starter's guide, idiot's starter's guide to ghost hunting, so to say.
So, we're going to wrap this video up. We're going to spend the last 5 minutes. I'm going to spend the last 5 minutes talking a little bit about my next video. It's in paranormal activity. Thank you for being here and doing this video and sharing your experiences.
It's been fun. Thank you. I hopefully you can be on here sometime next time soon.
Well, technically, in this video, there's a special guest star in my video.
Yay!
So
might become a regular thing. So if you see my ugly mug, you know why.
Yeah. So my next video, I am hopefully. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I've changed my mind. It says I'm still going to do the same thing, but I am going to take you. I might ask you to come with me.
Yeah.
Just because of protection and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take you to where that experience happened, and I'm going to do a little bit of ghost investigation there, but I'm not going to do what I did last time. I'm going to be respectful to this spirit this time.
You might encounter different spirits this time if you do.
Well, hopefully I won't see that spirit again. Hopefully,
he might be there, and he might be thinking, yeah, he's learnt from his lesson now.
I've been back there a few times after this experience happened, so I still feel the energy of all spirits. So I'm going to take you down there. I'm going to do a bit of investigation myself. I'll do a bit of a pre-recording before that at home, showing you what I'm going to take, what I'm going to use, etc. I might take my camera that time though. I'm not sure. I'm with one friend, don't know.
We'll see. We'll see when it happens.
I'm going to do a bit of pre-recording, show what I'm going to take, what I'm going to use, and that sort of stuff. I then will go up there, record, walking around a bit to where I'm going to go. Then I'll cut it off. I know I did say I won't have any editing, and that's true. I aren't going to have any editing in any of my videos. This video is going to be about an hour long anyway.
So you've got a splat long.
Yeah, so you go for an hour.
Yeah.
All my videos, I won't do editing. I won't cut anything. I'll show you everything that's happening. Yes, I know people don't believe when people go on investigating the paranormal. People do cut, and you think, well, what are they planning or what are they doing during that cutting?
So
what I'm just going to basically tell you now, when I cut the video, I aren't going to be doing anything. I'm not going to be setting anything up. It's just basically where I'm walking and how I've got to get there. It is a bit bumpy and it's grassy and it's a bit of woods, blah, blah, blah.
And also like the pre-setup as well.
Yeah, and the pre-setup and stuff. And I'll promise you, all my videos are going to be legit. Then if there's nothing there, there's nothing there. Unfortunately, that can't be out. If there's something there, then there's something there, and then you've got a bit of evidence.
Do you know what? If he wasn't legit, I'd let you know about it first.
Yeah, yeah. All my family, all my friends would let you know. Oh, it's not legit.
I bet you'd be saying, but she would back you up anyway because she's your friend.
Oh, trust me.
Yeah, but I'm here and I'm seeing it happen, so I can back
She'll
him
tell
up
you
fine.
the truth.
And you may not like it. Each to their own.
Yeah, it says each to their own. If you don't like that video, leave a comment, let me know, and I'll do my best to improve, obviously. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing on that day. I don't know what day, but that day. Any last questions before?
No, I think we've pretty much covered it, haven't we? We've pretty much covered everything.
We've gone a bit off topic on some things, but that's usual in my videos. If you watch them, you'd know this.
Yeah, but there's a lot to talk about in this
video.
video.
Yeah, there is in this video. There was, yeah.
Very big.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm sure, like in the next video, he might like
What about that next video? Sorry. The next video is coming on Wednesday. And it's a bit back to front. I've done this video the day before. I'm just going to let you know I am going to upload
Wednesday
this.
British Standard Time for those that are not in Britain or
this
England.
video isn't up on on this 2nd or 3rd of September 2021, then you know this video has been put up first, because I might forget, and then the next video should be Wednesday the 1st, which is August still.
Yeah.
So it's a bit back to front, just letting you know. So,
Oh, come on, bro.
it's a bit confusing.
Come on, bro. Wrap it up. My backside's hurting from sitting down for so long. I need a walk.
Thank you for being on my video and sharing your stories and your input.
And thanks for inviting me. That's great.
And wrap it up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. You say bye.
I'm saying bye. Bye.